Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess. Life under the sea is better than anything.
The motor skill being taught is catching a pass on your back when received from a teammate. Our lesson is geared towards novice water polo players. We will teach a few of the components to help a beginner learn how to successfully catch a pass while swimming on his or her back. Being able to catch a ball on your back is a basic skill necessary in order to learn ball control and teaches a beginner to be aware of the defense. As we evaluate the student, we must identify the critical and flexible factors. Critical factors are movements that must occur to successfully achieve the action. Flexible factors are movements that can vary across individuals performing the same action depending upon personal preference. For the motor skill of swimming on your back while receiving a pass, the critical factors would be arm circumduction, hip, knee, ankle, and elbow flexion as well as extension, while the flexible factors would be the degree of hip flexion, the width, and the type of kick you are using. According to Gentile's taxonomy, catching a pass while swimming on your back is classified as 2D. Because the body is transported from one location to another as you swim across the pool, there is object manipulation of the water polo ball. The regulatory conditions are stationary because the environment, in this case the water, is not moving in such a way that it affects the player swimming. And lastly, there is inter-trial variability because the player receiving the pass does not determine the spatial or timing components of the pass as it comes from a teammate.
The first skill is treading water in a stationary position, which is classified in Gentile's taxonomy as 1A. Treading water is an essential skill in the game of water polo because players may not touch the ground with their feet at any time at any point of the game. To make this skill more difficult, we can instruct a beginner to begin with her hands out of the water. Without the aid of her hands, her legs are forced to work harder. Another method used to increase the difficulty would be to tread water with her hands placed on her head. This would elevate the arms so that the elbows are also out of the water, which increases the amount of body unsupported underwater. By doing this, more weight is added and she must learn to kick harder to stay afloat. The second skill is swimming backstroke, which is classified under 1C. Because we are trying to teach a beginning water polo player to catch a ball on her back, it is very important that the player can swim backstroke so she is able to look for a pass coming from behind her while still making forward progress toward the goal. To increase the difficulty, we can instruct the student to swim head-up backstroke, which differs from traditional backstroke in that the head and shoulders are raised out of the water so that a player is able to anticipate a pass from a teammate behind her. To further increase the difficulty level, we can instruct the student to swim head-up backstroke, replacing the traditional flutter kick with a frog kick, breaststroke kick, or egg beater, depending on the personal preference of the student. Lastly, we would instruct a novice water polo player to tread forward, moving with the ball. Introducing an object of manipulation, the water polo ball, would classify the skill under 1D according to Gentile's taxonomy. To raise the level of difficulty, we would teach a student to tread forward, progressing while passing the ball between her two hands. This task would teach a novice ball control. And another method to increase the difficulty would be to swim head-up freestyle with the ball. Keeping the ball between her arms and away from the defenders is a skill essential in the game of water polo and will help further develop a beginner's control of the ball.